Good morning. Myself, Dr. K. Sujata, Associate Professor from Department of Information Technology. I'm going to present a series of sessions on the course Computer Organization and Architecture. So, you all will versed that you are listening two terms, computer organization, computer architecture. So, in entire of this course, you are going to learn both organization and architecture. Please follow all the sessions to learn various topics related to computer organization and computer architecture. The main objectives of the first unit are to know the difference between computer organization and computer architecture, to know the structure and function of computers, to learn register transfer language, to learn various data representations, to detect overflow. The main outcomes of this unit are, by following all the sessions of this unit, the student will be able to distinguish computer organization and architecture, able to understand structure and function of computers, able to understand the register transfers, and able to understand the design of bus using multiplexers as well as tri-state gates, able to understand memory transfer instructions and various data representations, and also the overflow which occurs during the arithmetic operations of binary data. So, the syllabus, coming to the syllabus of Unit 1, this unit entirely covered in 6 sessions. In the first session, we are going to discuss about organization and architecture. In the second session, we are going to discuss about structure and function. In the third session, we are going to discuss about RTL, that is nothing but register transfer language. In the fourth session, we are going to discuss about bus and memory transfers. That is how bus is designed using multiplexers, tri-state gates, and also about memory transfers. In the fifth session, we are going to discuss about data representations, which covers fixed point representation as well as floating point representation. In the sixth session, we are going to discuss about overflow. Good morning. Welcome to session 1 of Unit 1 in learning the course Computer Organization and Architecture. In this session, we are going to discuss about computer organization and computer architecture. That is, what is organization, what is architecture, what is the difference between organization and architecture. The main objectives of this session are to know what is computer organization, to know what is computer architecture, to know what is the difference between organization and architecture. The main outcomes of this session are, by following this session, the student will be able to distinguish organization and architecture. Now, what is the difference between organization and architecture? Majorly, the difference of those two lies between the terms what and how. Always, computer architecture explains what is there in the computer, what the various operations available in the computer, what the various components available in the computer. So, which component is related to which component. So, all the things are explained by architecture. Coming to organization, the computer organization explains how all those are working, how a multiplication can be implemented, how an addition can be implemented, so how instruction cycle will be executed, so how the things will be happened, what the things are there, that is to be explained by architecture, how they are working, how they are implemented, that is to be explained by organization. Now here let us see the difference of both. Computer architecture. Computer architecture is concerned with the structure and the behavior of computer system as seen by the user. It explains the structure, what is the overall structure of computer system, how it behaves, what is the behavior of that computer system. That will be explained by the architecture. It describes what the computer does, what it can done. It can be used to do processing of a Word document. It can be used to implement multiplication operation. It can be used to record a video. Like that, what it can does, that will be explained by architecture. It includes instruction sets, formats, and techniques for addressing memory. The architecture includes what the various instruction sets that are present in the memory, what are various formats, what are the techniques for addressing memory. So, what the techniques that we use for addressing memory, such as direct addressing, indirect addressing, like that. Now, computer architecture tells you what the system does, that is what you can expect to get out of it. So, finally, we are saying that architecture always tells you what the system does, what you are expecting to do with the system. Now, for example, the best example for computer architecture is the fact that a multiply instruction is available is a computer architecture issue. So, whether your system contains an instruction for doing multiplication or not, that is the issue of architecture. How it can be done, that is not to be explained by the architecture. Whether it contains an instruction for multiplication or not, that is architecture issue. Right, let us see the computer organization. Computer organization is concerned with the way the hardware components operate and the way they are connected together to form a computer system. So, here what the hardware components are present, that is to be explained by the architecture. How they are operated, how they are connected together to form a computer system, that is to be called as organization. It describes how computer performs. The organization describes how computer performs. It also includes the hardware details transparent to the programmer, such as control signals, peripherals, etc. So, how peripherals, etc. works. So, what about interfacing of peripherals? All these things will be explained by the organization. Now, computer organization tells you how exactly all units in your system have been arranged. So, how all these are connected. The same thing that I said. Now, best example is how that multiply is implemented is a computer organization issue. So, already I said you that computer architecture issue is whether your system contains an instruction for multiplication or not. That is architecture issue. So, if it contains the instruction for multiplication, how that instruction will be implemented, how a multiply instruction can be implemented, how a multiply operation can be carried, that is to be explained by organization. Right, I hope that you all understood the difference between computer organization and architecture. So, I am going to recollect the things what we explained in this session. In this session, we discussed about what is computer organization, what is computer architecture, what is the difference between organization and architecture. To assess yourself here, I given a question. Please answer the question. The question is, distinguish computer organization and computer architecture with suitable examples. In preparing this presentation, I used the digital content from various public sources. It is used only for educational purpose and not for the commercial purposes. Thank you for listening to the session. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to session 2 of unit 1 in learning the course Computer Organization and Architecture. In our previous session, we discussed about what is computer organization, what is computer architecture, what is the difference between organization and architecture. In our today's session, we are going to discuss about structure and function of computers. The main objectives of this session are to know the structure of computer, to know the function of computer. The main outcomes of this session are, by following this session, the student will be able to understand the structure and function of computer. Now, first of all, we are going to see what is structure and what is function. Those two things that we need to know. So now, Computers are complex to understand. It is easier to understand if broken up into hierarchical components. Now, if you want to understand a computer completely, so if we are seeing the entire computer at a time, it is somewhat clumsy. So that's why if we are dividing the computer into various components, hierarchical components, it is easy for us to understand. So at each level, the designer should consider two things. One is structure and other is function. So at each hierarchical level, we need to consider two things. Those two things are structure and function. What is structure? What is function? The way in which components relate to each other is called as structure. So what is the structure of computer? The way in which components relate to each other is called as structure. Function, the operation of individual components as part of the structure. So your structure contains various components and all those components are related to one another. Now coming to function, what the operations of individual components, so which are as a part of structure. So what the components are represented in the structure, what is the functionality, what is the operation of those components, that will be explained in function, right? So in the hierarchical representation of computers, so first we are going to see an entire computer structure. So here the major components, what the major components that are present in the computer are central processing unit, main memory, input output unit and system interconnect. So here what the major components that are present in an entire computer. So here we are having four major components: central processing unit, main memory, input output unit and system interconnect. Now what about the functionalities of those four units? The central processing unit, which controls the operation of the computers and performs data processing. So here the central processing unit controls the operation of computers and also it performs data processing. Those two are the tasks that should be performed by CPU. Main memory. What is the functionality of main memory? It is used to store data and instructions. Input output subsystem. So here what is the purpose of input output subsystem? It moves data between the computer and the external environment. Computer and external environment. So while the CPU is in processing of data, while it is executing some instructions, what the data that the processor needs to execute those instructions, that data will be provided by the input devices, and after getting the results, those results will be outputted to the user. So that is nothing but external environment. So that data moves between the central system and external environment will be done by input output subsystem. And finally, the last component of a computer is system interconnect. What is the function of system interconnect? Some mechanism that provides for communications between the system components is called as a mean which is used to provide the communication between various components of the system is called as system interconnect. Typically, we use a bus structure as the system interconnect. Now here, coming to the structure, what the components are present in a computer, we are having four components: CPU, main memory, input output and system interconnect. Now, we already said you that at each and every level of hierarchy, we need to consider the functionalities of those components. Now, what about the functionalities? Those four are the functionalities. CPU can do data processing as well as it can control the operation of entire computer. Main memory is used to store the data as well as instructions. Input output subsystem is used to move the data between central system and external environment. System interconnect, which is nothing but simply a bus structure which provides the mean of communication between various components. Now, out of all these things, since CPU is playing a key role in the hierarchical way, in the next level of hierarchy, we are going to explain about central processing unit. Now, this gives the structure of central processing unit. So now here, what the various components that are present in central processing unit. The major components are control unit, arithmetic logic unit, various registers, and internal CPU interconnection. So these four are the major components that we have in the structure of CPU. So what the various components that we have? Control unit, arithmetic logic unit, various registers, and internal CPU interconnection. Now, what about the functionalities of these components? So coming to control unit which is used to control the operation of processor. The control unit is used to control the operation of processor by providing sequencing logic. Now, arithmetic and logic unit, this performs data processing actions such as arithmetic operations, logical operations, shift operations like that. Registers are used as fast storage internal to the CPU, but contents can be copied to or from main memory. So here we have the main memory. In addition to main memory, for fast accessing and fast storing, we are using various registers. So some are general purpose registers and some are special purpose registers. We will discuss about those registers in detail in our third unit. Now coming to CPU interconnect. So this is nothing but a mean of communication between various components which are present in the central processing unit. That is, it provides the communication among control unit, arithmetic logic unit and registers. So these are the various components that are present in the CPU and their functionalities. What the various components that are present in CPU? Control unit, arithmetic logic unit, various registers and internal CPU interconnection. Okay, right. So out of all these things, since control unit controls the operations of all operations of CPU, in the next level of hierarchy, we are going to explain about control unit. So inside of CPU, the control unit provides the controlling, it does the controlling of all activities. So we are giving the structure of control unit. Now here what the various parts that are present in the structure of control unit. Let us see. It is having sequencing logic, control unit registers and decoders, and it is having control memory. Now here what about the functionalities of these things? The sequencing logic which is used to control the order of events. The order of events can be controlled by sequencing logic. Control unit registers and decoders. Now here since it controls all the activities, so whenever the processor want to execute any instruction, first that instruction should be decoded. After decoding the instruction, what the operation that the processor is going to be processor is going to do, that will be decided. So for doing all those activities, for decoding and for generating clock pulses and for doing all those activities, it needs some registers and decoders. Those registers and decoders are present, and control memory. So it is having a control memory for storing all the micro operations. So here all these are the various parts that are present in the control unit of your system. So I hope that you all understood the structure of computer. We explained that in various levels of hierarchy. This indicates an entire computer. So out of this computer, since CPU performs, CPU is very important. We are going to explain about CPU. This is entirely the structure of CPU. In this CPU, we have the control unit. This control unit is playing a vital role. So we are explained the structure of computer. So in these three levels of hierarchy, we explained entirely the structure of computer. So, and also we seen the functionalities. Now here I am going to summarize the functionalities. Now what the various functionalities that all those components what we are seeing in structure are doing. Now here the functionalities are data processing, data storage, data movement and control. So here data processing, this will be done by arithmetic logic unit, or we can take it as CPU. Data storage, this can be done by memory or registers. Data movements, these can be done by input output subsystem. So control, this can be done by the control unit. So these are the various components that we have in the structure of our computer and the functionalities of those components. So I hope that you all understood the structure and function of computers. I'm going to revise the concept what we explained in this session. In this session, we discussed about what is structure, what is function, So, for explaining the structure of computer, we have seen the hierarchical representation of various components of your computer and what are the functionalities of all those components that we seen. To assess yourself here, I given some questions. Please answer these questions. The first question is, explain the structure of computer by breaking up into hierarchical components. The second question is, explain the function of computers. Now, in preparing this presentation, I used the digital content from various public sources. It is used only for educational purpose and not for the commercial purposes. Thank you for listening to the session. Thank you.